Hey guys, it's DT back with a special unboxing video. Today I just got in this custom Samurai Wolverine. Yes, I am adding another Wolverine statue to the collection. I think that's just the way it goes. If you like Wolverine and you collect statues, you're gonna have a few of them. So today I'm gonna open this up. I'll show you guys the contents. I'll do an assembly video and then I'll give you guys a detailed look at this statue. So I thought this statue was pretty unique. Not only does it have a Samurai Wolverine, but it also has a dragon. So it came like this right out of the shipper box. No art box, which is fine by me as long as everything is intact. So let's go ahead and see what's in this top layer. And unlike Batman, Wolverine actually has some comic book history with Japan. So I think him being a samurai is not too far-fetched. All right, let's see what we have in this top layer. So there looks like there's a lot of pieces. I'm not gonna try and unwrap everything. Let's just grab out some pieces here and give you guys a look. So it looks like the head comes in multiple parts. This one is the top of his head. Looking pretty cool there. It's not all one color. Kind of got these reds and blacks in there. Look at that eye. There's a look at his upper palate. Oh, it looks like we have a light up as well. A few batteries, it looks like. They just go in here. I don't see a cover, but that is a cool looking dragon right there. Very nice paint job on that. Looks like we might have the body in here. This thing looks like a snake. Here is the lower jaw, the mandible, beautiful scales, some horns on the back. Very nice details in the scales. It's kind of glossy down there. It looks like there's a keyhole for his tongue. Here we have a dragon arm. Same great detail in the scales. Then we have these giant razor sharp dragon talons. Very fitting for a Wolverine statue. Here's a quick look at the other arm. It's got slightly different hand positioning. Looks like the very tip of this claw might be a little bit chipped, but everything else looks good. Looks like Wolverine's lower body. This thing looks great. Here's a look at the musculature on his upper pecs. You can see all that sculpted in hair. He's got some nice veins, more sculpted in hair there. Wolverine is a hairy guy. You can see up here he's got some kind of armlet to cover up the seam where his arm keys in. Back musculature. Now originally they had planned to do a tattoo on his skin. The commissioner didn't like the way it turned out, so they decided just to go with the bare skin, which I think is fine. Then down here, kind of got this rope belt, and this is all sculpted. No fabric here, no rope. It looks real. Some different rope texture on there. Looks like something keys in there. I think his sword. Up here we have kind of a ripped material look. Got some stitching detail in that. There are also some wrinkles in there to give it kind of a leathery appearance. It's kind of got these burlap textured pants. You can see the little cross stitching there. Then down here, he's kind of got these samurai shin guards, more sculpted rope, and then we've got the traditional Japanese shoe. There it is. There's a look at his body, front and back. All right, so we get a few different head sculpts with this piece. Here's one of them. So this is a quarter scale piece. This head seems a little small, but I guess we'll have to see what it looks like on the actual statue. Here he's kind of got that screaming portrait. A rope scrunchie there. Here's a look at the teeth, and you can see his tongue as well. The eyes on this look a little bit off to me. Maybe that eye on the left side is looking a little bit farther off to the left than the eye on the right. Could just be the lighting, but that's what I'm seeing right now. Here we've got an arm. He's got this battle wrapping on his forearm. Kind of looks weird right now, but he's actually pulling out the katana from the scabbard. So that's why he's kind of got this weird bent wrist there. On the arms, we can see that sculpted in hair, and it's painted as well, but the shadows also give it that nice hairy look. This one we can see we've got the holes for his claws. So I think this right here is the dragon's tail. Got a nice little peg keyhole there on the end. Looks very nice and flowing. It's kind of like a flower. This is the dragon's tongue. Kind of reminds me of a venom tongue. just keys in there at the bottom. Look at that nice glossy wet look, sort of like hair of some sort. I'm not really sure where that goes. All right, so that's gonna do it for this top layer. Let's see what we have underneath. Looks like we have more dragon body here. I guess this is the bottom of the dragon. Here is the front stomach of the dragon. Big key there on the bottom. Key there as well. There's where the arms insert. The rest of the dragon keys in right here. Check out this right here. What is this? We have a credit card. They made 60 of these guys. This is number 40. This is kind of the clenched teeth portrait. Very similar hair to the first one. Actually, this is a shorter hair version. He doesn't have the little ponytail or bun. They could have added a little bit more detail in those teeth. So the portraits, they kind of have sort of like an animated feel to them. All right, this one's kind of cool. He's got an eye patch on, but very similar eyes on there, similar hair. Of course, we have the strap of the eye patch that goes around, kind of this black eye patch with some details around the sides. I like the paint on these teeth a little bit better than on the ones we just saw. All right guys, so my recording stopped. I'm not really sure when it stopped. I just looked over at the camera and it said it stopped. So hopefully we didn't miss too much, but we've kind of got these wood steps here going up one side. Of course, we've got the rest of the dragon, the body and the tail here that kind of wraps around this whole thing. I was saying I really like the natural colors in this base. We've got some browns and greens. All right, so I went back and saw what the camera missed when it stopped recording. So I'm gonna show you guys quickly some of the things that we missed. Here is a look at the fourth and final portrait. This one you can see he's got the straps around his face, and that is because he is wearing this hat. Just keys into the top of his head, and that just fits in like this. So it says this is a traditional Japanese battle hat. We have the broken up straw around the sides. And then another thing I missed was this little pagoda, and it's actually a headstand, so we can put all our unused portraits on it, and that's kind of cool. I love when companies do that and they give you something to display those extra portraits. Nice little display option to have. We got a little lamp post. Top just comes off like that. We have a little LED light. Nice little touch. Here's a look at our swords. Got an extra handle. Here's some material that keys into Wolverine's waist. We have a couple pieces of bamboo coming out of the ground. We've got a pipe with some smoke coming out of it. Here are the metal claws, or the painted to look like metal claws. I don't believe these are metal. And then we have the bone claws, which also have a little color variation in there to kind of give it some depth. All right, and I think that's everything. If I miss something, you'll see it in the completed statue. So let's get these pieces over to the table now and put this thing together. Okay, the base is on the turntable. Let's begin. So I'm not really sure where to start. There weren't instructions, but I'm guessing we're gonna start with this big dragon. So it looks like this piece keys in right here. I guess. Lines up pretty well. So there is a little seam there. It's pretty tight, barely noticeable. Let us move on. So let's go ahead and stick this part of the dragon on. Slides in like that. The seam is right at the bottom of the scale, so barely noticeable there. Let's go ahead and stick that tongue on. Right in there. It's on. Very nice, tight fit. Let's throw some arms on there. This one goes here. This one comes over here. And there we go. Almost forgot the tail. All of these connections are very tight. And there is our dragon. Pretty awesome. This dragon was actually the reason I got this piece. I already have a ton of Wolverines, but I thought this was something new, something interesting. Let's stick Wolverine on there. This is a very hefty Wolverine as well. Back foot has a little peg. This front foot has a key. And the key. Oh wow, that is a nice fit. And since we have this portrait, the other three are still on that little headstand. Let's go ahead and put this on. This one came with a couple hair pieces. This one goes in the back of his head, just like that, I believe. And then this one, I forgot to show you, it was hiding in the box, but I dug it out, and it's basically his little ponytail. And that one just keys in on the top. So that fits in right there. So I mentioned it earlier, but one of the things I noticed about the heads is they're a little bit small. I compared them to some other quarter scale heads that I have, and it definitely is a little bit smaller. It is bigger than a 1/5 head, but a little smaller than a quarter scale. So here you can see the size difference. This is the Sideshow Premium Format Logan here on the right. You can see it's quite a bit bigger. We'll see how it works with his body. Wolverine tends to have a very large head for being such a short guy. This guy seems to have a larger body and a smaller head. So we got this little bamboo, and there's a little keyhole in the back. See if we can fit that in now that we have our dragon and Wolverine already in place. And it just keys in right there. It doesn't really have an engineering purpose, it's kind of just there for looks. Up in front we have our little light post. There we go. Blends in seamlessly with the ground. Here is our clawed hand. Let's go ahead and stick the bone claws on. So we got 3 different sizes. I'm probably going to display this guy with the bone claws just because it is very unique. I do have bone claws for the XM Studios Wolverine, but that one is more of a modern suit anyway. He's very rugged in his attire, so I think these bone claws fit rather nicely. So this one goes right here, and you can see the seam right here is a little bit hidden by these little gold beads. I guess we need to stick his swords on. They go in right here. So we need to stick this in his hand first, like that. Then stick his arm on. So I was reading the comments on Facebook, and there was some concern that this was not the proper way to draw the katana out of the scabbard. Apparently you're supposed to be holding the scabbard in order to take it out. They said it would be very hard to do without holding that sheath. But you know, this is a statue. I think we definitely need to see Wolverine's claws in there, and if he was holding that scabbard, I don't think it would be as dynamic. So I'm not a sword expert, so it's good enough for me. So this part, which I thought was gonna go on his belt, actually goes on this little arm wrap here. There is a little key and peg hole. There it is. All right, so we got all these heads on this stand. During the detailed shots, I'll go ahead and switch these out, and you guys can let me know which one you like the best. Personally, I probably will opt for this one just because it is so different. He's got the long hair, he's got the screaming mouth. I think the head and proportions work for this statue. I would have liked to see it a little bit bigger. He's a shorter guy, but he tends to have a big head, especially with the hair. But the small head definitely makes his body look a lot bigger. He doesn't really look like a 5'2", 5'3" guy here. We have the little pipe, and you can stick that in like that. Then we'll also try out the metal claws as well. Here he is, guys, Wolverine and his pet dragon. Alright guys, so that was a look at the custom Samurai Wolverine with Pet Dragon. I think it's awesome. Very unique piece. It doesn't really fit in with the other X-Men in my collection, but this would make a great standalone. And I might even display this on its own pedestal next to my Batman Samurai pieces. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.